Hey guys, SickMotion here again with the newest patch. Just going over it again as I did in the past with the other ones, just giving my opinions and what I think about it. I realize there's a patch overview, a video that Riot's done now, which is really nice. But I still get asked quite a bit what my personal opinions on the patch are, so I'll just do a rundown here and go over it as usual. It's a bit of a shorter as far as content to go over, so shouldn't be that long. New champion isn't out yet, so I've watched the champion spotlight for him, but I haven't actually played him on PBE or anything or tried to play him, so I'm not too sure. I haven't played against him really either, so I'm not too sure my thoughts on him yet. The big change on this patch is the Cassiopeia change, and bunch of stuff got changed, switched around on her. Her new passive, I don't know. Like I didn't play Cassiopeia that much, and I haven't played her with the new passive or whatnot. But just looking at it, it looks bonkers. Uh, it basically gives you stacks, up to 400 stacks for hitting E's or having targets poisoned. 75 stacks is your first upgrade where you gain a mini death cap passive, and then your E gives you health with an AP ratio as well as a flat thing. That seems kind of broken. And then as the stacks go up, 10% ability power, so better mini death cap, and 25% CDR. With the masteries, that's 30%. You need to build one 10% CDR item and you're capped just from your passive, or scratch that and just get a blue buffer, get a blue pot, and you're capped. And then at 400 stacks, it's 30%. I don't know. That just seems broken. It in context, the AP ratio on her Q went down and got cut in half, and then some. So they're kind of taking power away from other stuff. I think to focus on getting those stacks so that it's not broken when you do get them, and you're not too strong without them. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good trade-off. It seems like that is going to be too good. Her W lost a bit of AP ratio and just a bit of the flat damage, so it's more reliant on the AP ratio. And the Twin Fang, another really big change is it, well, for one, it now refunds mana cost plus 3% of her total mana if it kills a unit, so you can last hit with it pretty effectively, which is cool. And you'll get the healing from it when you're last hitting if you have your stacks, so makes her have a lot of sustain in lane, both for her health and mana. But the cooldown is reset on cast rather than hit. It used to be where you would stand on top of your target, at least when I played Cassiopeia, if it wasn't like, oh, I'm standing on them, I'm going to die, if it was safe to do so. If you'd stand on them, your spell would have less travel time, meaning it would hit them quicker, meaning the reset would trigger faster, because it used to trigger when the damage hit them rather than when you shot it. Now that it triggers when you cast it, that's going to be a big change. And like I said, I haven't tested it, but I think that's another really big. I'm not sure if it's going to be as big as their passive, but I think that's a really big buff to her as well. And her ult. I don't know if I was just bad when I played her. I was always missing ults. I felt like I was shooting them, but it wouldn't even like do damage to them because they were on top of me. So it should be better with a little bit of clarity. Bit of visual upgrades on Renekton, and I guess they changed the lore on Renekton and a bunch of other characters for this patch with the new champ, and some people are up in a kerfuffle about it. I'm not too sure. I don't really know what the lore was before, so it's not really going to affect me. Bit of a quality of life change on Brand's Pyroclasm. That's awesome. I don't really play Brand. Valkyrie, apparently there was a bug where the damage would extend even if Corki didn't fly that far, so tons of damage has been nerfed. Collision champions, Gnar, Poppy, and I think Vayne got one down here too. Yeah, can now do collision on fake terrain such as the Anivia Wall, the Azur's Divide, Jarvan's Cataclysm, Trundle's Pillar. There was a bug where stopping Aurelia mid-dash would still deal damage to her target. I didn't realize that was a bug. I didn't realize that even happened after playing a lot of Aurelia, so that's interesting. Also, Jax's dot or jump is kind of like that. If you jump onto a target, it'll still do damage even if you get interrupted or knocked away when it would have done damage when you would have landed on there. There's a bug where Shen was getting energy for taunting dead champions. That doesn't seem like it should be a thing, so they took it out. Shen was already weak enough, and he had that bug working for him, so RIP Shen. Bit of quality of life, I think, on Varus' Q. I'm not sure. I didn't really play Varus. There's the Vayne update. Tides of Blood on Vlad now correctly increases healing from Spellvamp and Lifesteal. I don't know why you'd have Lifesteal. I don't recommend AD Vlad, but I didn't even realize. I knew that it gave you increased sustain when you had your E stacks. I just assumed that it gave you it with your Spellvamp items, and it didn't. So that's a pretty big buff to Vlad. Now that he's going to have more Lifesteal or more Spellvamp, sorry, when his E is stacked. Because basically every Vlad ever in the history of League of Legends goes for some type of Spellvamp item to further help his healing kit. And the Zillion ult, that's kind of cool. Once you have a Zillion ult on you, your screen will slightly change, sort of, I'm assuming, to like when you're in stealth, you can tell that you're stealth just by the tint of your screen. So if you're in a chaotic team fight, there's like 17 Cho'Gaths piled on top of you, and you can't see what's going on, you'll know if you're Zillion ulted or not without having to check your buffs at the bottom. So that's just a quality of life there as well. Bunch of updated bios that I've never read, and a bunch of splash art updates. Movement commands now persist after flashing in the same direction you're moving. That's nice because if you flash and you're casting a movement ability right as you flash, you can sometimes cast it backwards to the location that you were trying to cast it to before you flashed. Let's see. The new Ascension mode. That was actually pretty fun. I played it once or twice, so I'll probably kick around on that a little bit. The new match history giving you item builds, purchase order, and ability orders. I think that's going to be pretty cool. So that if you like see someone did really well and you're like, why don't I do that well when I play that champion? It'll tell you what order they purchased their items in and what order, more importantly, they leveled their skills. And you can usually tell what items they have unless you're not paying attention and not laning against them forever. But you can't really tell the ability order without going back and watching a replay. So that's kind of cool. And then some random bug fixes. Apparently Dragon was doing more damage than intended. Yeah, it kind of felt like it. Dragon was destroying people. And just this was nice as well. Private chat windows now display online presence. You're trying to talk to someone, you don't even realize they're offline because that little online presence bubble left. And then the new skin for the champion, a new Kha'Zix skin, which is cool because he hasn't got a skin in ever. We're still waiting for my Skarner skin. Praying. But anyway, guys, that's a quick rundown of the patch. I'll hopefully see you guys on stream, and take it easy till then.